Welcome back. Man, I ain't never go nowhere. I've been chilling. I could have dropped this one a week ago, but I decided to wait. Have patience. That's the key virtue that we missing out on. I am Volothamp Modulus Tautology, aka Chucky Biblical. Welcome to another episode. What am I calling these things? Not a game show, yo. It's not a game. You know what I mean? But this is a game. Japanese rural life adventure. Alright? Japanese rural life adventure. So it's available on Apple TV. It's a farming game. You go around, you build your farm, and you do your crops, and you collect your money, and there's a story to it. Now here's the tricky part that I'm getting people to understand. That it's a game, it's a video game, it's available. You know, what I mean, I pay for it as a part of a subscription thing. But the tricky part is that every story, story throughout history is religious. It's is political and scientific. And there it is. It's not a hard thing to understand and comprehend. And what the story is based upon, or how the story or the author is written, and the ethics and morals and principles and virtues that they do to write their stories. That's what we judge. And it just gets weird to me to sit back and watch people judge and start arguing over a person's work. You know, it is about, seeing the Mona Lisa, and then, she's smiling, she's not smiling, and see, as you can see, this is all live. That's why it came out. Because I do want to play the game eventually, and make videos of me just playing the game, just like Zach Scott, who's been doing that for over 15 years, and he's at, I think, 500 subs, 500,000 subs, or something like that. Oh no, he's at 5 million subs. Zach Scott is at 5 million subs. It's the Mr. Beast that's at 500 million subs. Now I know I'm never going to hit that kind of number, but I think I can do the 5 million, right? If I keep making good content, I'm trying to get to 1,000 videos, and then I'll eventually get there. But as you can see, I subtitled this video too, and therein is where I get into my trouble. The subtitle to this video is Definition of a Boss. And I got a little pro controller around it just to show that I can, because what the software that I'm using to create this, and this gives me the ability to do this in live, and eventually I'm going to start going live with these things and adding, motion, video, and all. But I got one thing at a time. I need more software. I need more hardware. I need more, right? And the only way for me to be able to do that is if I get more subscribers. So if you are listening to this, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and that'll help me grow my channel. I will gladly subscribe to your channel and share your content as well, and then that way you can grow. You see, in order to build a great network, we have to work together and become a part of that same network. As our network grows, our net worth will grow. That's the biggest challenge that we're having and this is where I get into trouble, foundational Black Americans. That's where the races go. Well, why you got to be a Black American? Why can't you just be a regular American? Why you got to be? And that's when I look at them and spit on the ground like, you hypocrite. Because they want to say, I'm a foundational white American. Instead of just saying we can all be foundational Americans. But there's a specific reason why I call myself a foundational Black American, is because of my lineage. My lineage goes all the way back to prior to 1526. 1492 is the date that they gave us that Columbus discovered the foundational Black Americans already here. Now he wants to argue, well, they were foundational brown, they were brown Americans. Yes, brown Americans, doesn't matter. And now we're arguing over how dark their skin was. Or was it just dark brown Americans? Or was it double dark brown Americans? Or was it triple dark brown Americans? You see what I'm saying? And the same thing over in Africa. So what they did was they would colonize African, and therein is we trying to explain the stories and of the the Africans and then the brown natives that was here, and now we come to the day to call them African Americans, and hence we should have dual citizenship. But now the president of the United States saying, no, we have to show our I'm trying to think of a good word. Not nationality, because now we changed the word of nationality to patriotism. And therein is where we get into the political debate on what laws we are changing to fit the narrative of whatever political party or understanding of scientific methodologies in order to be freedom, justice, and equality. I know I just gave you a mouthful. That's why I'm toning it back. Bringing it back to regular old colloquialisms like truth, love, and courage. So today's video is dedicated to Wabi, my brother, because he's the one that, as soon as I told him what the definition of a boss, he was very interested in what I was doing. So I gave him a question. I asked him a question. I said, who's a boss? All right? Who is a boss? But that wasn't the question that he really had in his mind. In his mind, he wanted to know the definition of boss. So it was, what is a boss? And that's the wisdom right there. The wisdom is it always come back to the excluded middle. Is the first question, what is a boss, or who is a boss? Therein, now I have a nice long 30-minute video to present to you, and I already gave you 8 minutes of it, so I'm gonna jump right into a video of a YouTuber that claims that he's a boss, and I'm gonna share just a little bit of it, and we'll be back with more to see what he's sharing, and this is fair use for the 1976 Copyright Law Act. I'm kind of forgetting the YouTuber's name, but I'll just let him take it away, kind of a thing, because y'all know how I like to do. I like to share other YouTubers that I consider foundational Black Americans that present Black content, and then we can talk about it a little bit. It's going to take about a good 10 minutes, and then I can maybe do 10 minutes of actual gameplay of the game to, be more like Zach Scott, so that I can finally get to 1,000 videos and share, this kind of content with my son and other children that are 13 or over, because I try to keep my content PG 13, 14, and I try to keep it under mature 17, because anything rated mature 17 plus is actually for adults. It's not for children. And then a lot of people play games that's not for children and without parental guidance, and that's not good. That's not good at all. And that's the actual injustice that's going on, or the problem that's going on in a lot of communities other than Black people. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. So I hope you understood that. You can always rewind it and listen to it again to make sure that I'm articulating my words and using proper sentence structures and stuff, because I am well educated. but at the same time, just feel the groove of hip hop, because that's what I'm really about. Hip hop is an American culture created by us, the children of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement. Um, we always give credit and praises to. What we right now we're doing Emmett Till. Emmett Till was born in Chicago back in the 1940s, I believe. He was murdered in Mississippi in 1955, and he was the open casket. Since I say maybe Chicago is the birth, like his unaliving was the causality of real hip hop that we know as we know of it today, was the result of his life. Hence, everybody wants to talk about him and why Chicago is such an important city when it comes to hip hop culture and its growth. And hence the mayor there. We'll talk about him a little at a later date, but we're going to talk about the mayor of New York, where others say that's where hip hop actually began. But it began. We gave it that date in 1972 or 3 or whatever it was that they had a party. We give it that date. We just wanted to personify the culture that way to really kind of give it life. That's what we do with words sometimes. We try to just give it. We personify them just to give it a quote unquote life, because we like to talk about that hip hop life that we live. So I've said more than enough. I hope y'all caught on to what I'm trying to articulate. And hit the like button, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs and share more of this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that everybody can achieve freedom, justice, and equality. Shout out to the RZA and Wu-Tang Clan with that one. All right. Bear with me for 2 seconds as I hit my mute buttons and jump right into it. There it is.
Say.
Listen, there was a book that came out that Jasmine Ray wrote, and in the Daily News today, it was stated that there was a sexual action that happened in Borough Hall. She reported in that book, and it wasn't. You're a dog sick person, man. You know that? You're a dog sick person. Your name was on the byline, and there's some of you that have been covering me. You guys could part. Let me do this. Y'all could depart. Some of you have been recovering me for 3.5 years. Some of you are so sick and dark, and you're the leader of that. You're one of the most dark writers that I've ever seen in this city. And your personal sick vendetta and the sickness of how you think of over-sexualizing a black man, that in the book is stated that there was a sexual action in Borough Hall. That was never in the book. But that's typical of the sickness and the darkness of your sick mind. You're one of the sickest reporters I know. Go to the next question. You're a sick person.
What's your reaction to Letitia James getting indicted?
I'm going to do the same thing to her, what I ask of everyone. When I was going through my situation, let the process play out. People attacked me, they called me names, they destroyed an impeccable record in this city. Folks, I've been doing this for 40 years. I had 40 years of delivering for the people of the city of New York. And within months, my entire life was destroyed. And some of you who knew me joined the chorus of calling me all sorts of names. He made a deal, he did this. All of you that knew me, I was really surprised. And some of you broke my heart. I was surprised that y'all saw how impeccable my record was as a police officer, state senator, borough president, and as a mayor. And within months, because of a lawfare, you all of a sudden turned me into a criminal. You characterized my administration as corrupt. You didn't look at the dedication and commitment and the success of this city. And I noticed, you know what's interesting? I'm seeing none of you report some of the stuff that is coming out of the FBI of what happened under the Biden administration.
K. Cooper says Eric had a side chick. Not surprising. K. Cooper, I don't know why that's what. But how does that affect his ability to be able to do his job as the mayor of New York. I don't even know if he got a main chick. Do Eric Adams got a main chick? K. Cooper, why do you see that as a problem for Eric Adams? Honestly, I'm genuinely asking a question. Like, why do y'all see that as a problem that he had a little bit of So Eric Adams got boxolitis. What's the problem? Eric Adams got boxolitis. Why do you see that as a problem? That's between him and his chick, though. Honestly, that's between him and his hoes. I don't really care as long as you do your job. Now, if you letting your side chicks interfere with what you supposed to be doing on a daily basis, we got a bigger problem on our hands. But honestly, that's between him and his chicks. I don't really care about that. I don't see that as a problem.
I'm not seeing you report that. I'm not seeing you report some of the hidden records and the hidden files. I'm not seeing that anymore. But what you did in those months, to me, I'll never forget that. It was wrong. I did not deserve that. And as a mayor and as a public servant, I committed myself to the city, and I'm going to.
Oh, you said he's not married? So then, really, why do we care if he's not married? I ain't never seen him with no chick publicly like that. Like, I ain't never seen him go to any situation, any event. I ain't never seen him go to the governor's ball or whatever it is that they got going on over there in New York. I ain't never seen him flaunting no chick anyway, so I don't really think it's a problem.
Continue to commit myself to the city in the process. What's up, Kelly?
Hi, Mr. Mayor.
What's going on, Kelly?
I'm good. I wanted to ask you to follow up. Speaking of your indictment, you talked about the Justice Department weaponizing that indictment, going after black politicians. I mean, this is another black politician being indicted here in the city. What's your response to that?
Do you feel they weaponized me? Of course, you can answer. You asked me about others, but I remember how you covered me. You didn't feel they weaponized me. I was indicted for calling the fire department to do a building inspection. And many of you who covered me during that time were salivating at the thought that Eric will go to jail for 33 years. So don't start asking me about what do I think about what's going on now. I want to know what did y'all think about when my life was destroyed in this city. And I wish I had a mic so I can drop it.
We're America's beverage companies, making American products with American.
I got a couple more minutes of that video, right? I got a couple more of that video. We'll see how this comes out. I'm not post editing this. I'm live. So this will be me able to play my game, go to a commercial break, come back. I'm still live with you. I hope y'all enjoyed that. The commercial break can be my own commercial. You see, this is all about the software that I'm using. It's called OBS, Open Broadcasting Software. And I'm teaching my son how to use it so that we can create our own video channels. He has his channel right now. He's just drawing. And I really appreciate his pen is getting better and better at pencil. It's called Flick Animations, and he's over there drawing and he's making his little drawings and he's getting better and better. And I see him getting better with the eyes, and then he comes back with the mouth, and I'm like, son, keep it up, 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 right? Meanwhile, I'm over here and I'm doing better and better and better and better. People should have a better understanding of what I'm trying to convey here. Because that was Anton. That Anton is a YouTuber, and I just thought this piece was unique. I still got another couple more minutes on it. I'm trying. It looks like I'm gonna go a little bit over time. I don't have to, because I'm not really here to play the game today. But I do want to share just a little bit of the game to demonstrate what a farming game is, because a farming game is like the basic role-playing game. But instead of taking the sword and going to fight a dragon, like what you can do, is more like Braveheart, the beginning of Braveheart, which is a movie by Mel Gibson, based upon, him he went away, he learned the skills, he learned how to fight and everything else. They sent him to go learn how to fight, and when he came back, he met his childhood sweetheart again, he seen her again, and he was like, I want to be a farmer. And he went to go be a farmer, so they had to get married in secret because the government was on some, and this is if y'all seen the movie Braveheart, the government was on some, the noblemen of the land had first dibs on your wife, and that way they can spread their seeds and depopulate with royal blood in their area. Now this is supposed to be based upon a true story, but it's Hollywood, who knows, and I see how easy you can get lost off track because movies, the relationship between movies, gaming, even watching a football game, it's there to entertain us, but I like certain things she might not like, and we're trying to build a relationship based upon those things, this entertainment life, but at the same time we're supposed to be coming up with game plans on what kind of schooling we want for the children and things of that nature. And that's my aspect of it, is that I'm trying to bring game theory, group theory, and color theory to the table as math. These are mathematical ideologies, but actually, they're ideologies, but I'm showing real math concepts and methodologies in presenting this information so that we can actually do the real work and create our own video games like this, or build our own schools, or and these are the early processes of that. Why Eric is a boss? Because he got on them. He let them, and that's the second part that I'm about to share right now. Only a boss did what he just did. That's why I dropped the mic, right? Because he pointed at that man. He said, "You a dark man," and what he was telling him is that his writing is all about the LGBTQIA. That's all he wrote about. When he talked to the lady, that's all you wrote about. All y'all write about is that Rainbow Coalition. All y'all write. That's what DEI stood for. It's add to diversity. Well, why did you get, like, what I'm saying? It's like you're asking me about my relationship with my lady, right? So it's are y'all gonna get married? I guess that's the real question that he should have asked. And it's really none of your business if we're going to get married or not, or if we are even married. We might be married, but we're not telling the government, because the government under the Democratic Party was designed to destroy the foundational Black American family, specifically by way of gentrification, devaluing the Black family, the importance of the Black family, by defunding that, because that's one of the big things, is defunding the police. It was defunding the Black father, so that they changed the equity within the home of Black people. Hence, we got to get bankruptcy, divorce, foreclosure on the homes. That's what the issue is. Then the Democrats are the main ones that talk about it's about lesbians, it's about G, what's G? Oh, gays, it's all about B. Bisexual is all about T. Transsexual is all about what? I. Intersexual is about, or A. Asexual. Everybody except for who they identified as psychologically with psychological ideologies, the heterosexual male, which is the father of the Black family. And the problem is that he wants to be heteronormative. See how they created words to destroy our being, specifically the foundation of Black Americans. That's why every time I say foundation of Black America, the robot ear or whatever, the algorithm hears me and it turns down my microphone so that I'm not heard. It cuts back on my number of subscribers. It cuts back on my number of views. and I spit on the ground and I laugh at the I'm not a sellout. I'm not selling out for that dark money. I'm gonna keep doing it how I do it. And my fans are gonna hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Especially when we start playing those real video games. So, you know what I mean? There it is. GNX. We are GNX gamers. Be right back with the rest of it. And you know what I mean? Check it out. Here it comes.
Right now.
Yo, if more politicians spoke like this, we'd have greater respect for them. Eric Adams should have been talking like this the entire time that he was in office. Just keeping it 100. Eric Adams should have been speaking like this the entire time that he was in office. If he was speaking matter of fact, the problem with most politicians is that A, they have not learned from Trump. Jasmine Crockett is trying to take a play out of Trump's book, but she's doing it wrong because she's just trying to insult people. She's not speaking candidly about the truth, right? She's still standing on that Democratic platform. But if Eric Adams had been more endearing to the people by being authentic and just saying the truth, hey, call these journalists out like they are. If these people act like they got access to you, but they wouldn't actually ask you the question before writing the story, and then they actually switched up on you, because first of all, you're going to have to understand that you ain't got no friends in this game. You don't have any friends in this game, Playboy. You don't. You have zero friends in this game. When you become a politician, when you become a content creator, when you become a public figure, when you become an entertainer, when you become somebody that people have to pay attention to, you don't have any friends in this game. So Eric Adams' first mistake was assuming that these people actually had his back, and he should have known better. You've been around for too long, and you've been a politician for too long. I can't even imagine that he's mad. When people do certain stuff, I don't even take it as a slight. I'd be like, well, what was you waiting on? I'd be impressed when people take longer than expected to get to the meat and potatoes. Listen, you won't smoke? Then let's go ahead and get to it, Playboy. What we talking about? Like, let's not wait. Let's not stand on ceremony. Ah, you fight like a younger man. Mr. Wayne, let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne. Let's not stand on ceremony. Let's just get straight to it. And I do think that a lot of these reporters and these so-called journalists, it's not really journalists anymore. I think that they need to be called out and they need to be addressed to their face, because a lot of times they hide behind some kind of paper. You don't really get to see them. The only thing you get to see is whenever something is already produced, and they throw you out of the window and all of this stuff. And so they get to hide. Everybody should have to show their face when they saying something negative about somebody. Let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne. Let's not stand on ceremony, Eric. You think that the darkness is your ally. The darkness is not your ally. You don't got no friends in this game, big dog. He has zero friends in this game, and I can appreciate Eric Adams for saying what he really thought, but he's only saying it now because he's not running for mayor anymore, and we just need more authentic politicians, right or wrong, good or bad. I would respect Democrats if they stop posturing and giving us talking points and actually giving us the truth on what it is that they stood for. Listen, if y'all want a new Democratic candidate to come out as the front runner and the face of the party, you got to find somebody that's authentic. Not somebody that's radical. You got to find somebody that's authentic. Millie adopted the dog. You got to find somebody that's authentic. All of these people keep on telling y'all what y'all want to hear, keep on playing games and playing in your faces and acting like that they your friends and all of that stuff. They not your friends. They don't care nothing about you. They don't really hold you down. They don't have your best interests at heart. Y'all, listen, if you're a content creator or you're an entertainer or you're a politician or you're anything public facing that people are going to talk about, you're going to have to start treating the media like hoes.
Treat the media like 304s. Woo! And that's some boss talk right there. I'm just keeping it 100. And yo, y'all know I can really deep dive into that, but that's not my forte. You know what I mean? Let me change this up a little bit to show y'all what I'm trying to do. Like you see that boss thing there? Let me add my logo here. Right? They're gonna not a game show yo logo. I'll take this off on the background here. This is show a little bit more in context and stuff. Definition of a boss. So, in order to define a boss, you first have to come up with a question. An excluded middle is to be or not to be. But that's not necessarily to be or not to be when I'm asking the question. I'm just picking, who or what. Right? So I'm not really practicing the excluded middle logically, or should I say, with using the art of logical thinking or the laws of reasoning. Right? So I'm not arguing with y'all. I'm done arguing with people. It's a waste of my time. Especially if you woke folk. What I'm arguing with you for? You need to go. Here's a business card. There's a psychologist. Go talk to them. Here's a business card. Here's a pastor. Go talk to him. Here's a business card. He's a scientist. Go talk to them. You need one of those three in your life to help you to become a better person. Me, myself, yes, I am an epistemologist. Right? I give you my business card. Here it is. I'm a tautological epistemologist. Here's my business card. But the beauty of the today's media is that you got my information. Just go to Volo Television at YouTube, subscribe, like, share. I'm looking for subscribers. You subscribe me, I'm gonna subscribe you back. I'll check you out. Once I get to 100, yes, we could, boom, we're gonna, and we'll see how we can build together, right? YouTube is the chasing them there. If we're doing that on the same thing on Facebook, let me hit the start button, I guess. Oh, that's not it. Oh, jeez. See, this is what happens when you go live, right? But these are things we're gonna work on. There it is. So it tells me to, but I don't know the buttons like that, so I don't know the buttons. I gotta learn the buttons. But this is live. This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen down the line or whatever. You can still see my overlays on there, and here's my farm, and here's my main character. And that's what I'm trying to say. He's a boss. When I play the game, he's a boss. This is my farm. I'm going to work at it. I'm going to break it up. And when they come back, you see how it's all breaking up in the shape? It's all, right? It's all like I got a lot of work to do to fix my barn up. But once I fix it up and get back to, and start making money with this joint, it's going I'm going to come back. I might be married on the game. You know what I mean? That's how it works. It's a real life simulator, but it's you start from the ground up and you build, right? So this is the life of a real boss. That's, if you want to say, what's a boss? That this character, me, boss. Eric Adams, boss, right? Now the mayor of Chicago, he's not a boss. He thinks he's a Don. And that's why he sounds stupid. And I'm going to share some more information about him. I'm going to share videos about him because I am comparing and contrasting the two black mayors. They both about to get fired. He going to lose his job too. It's how you go out when you lose your job determines whether or not you're a boss, right? because Eric Adams he did his best to portray himself as being the front runner in the Democratic Party, being the mayor of one of the biggest, greatest city of all time, right? Chicago. I mean, New York is supposed to be the biggest, greatest city in America, in the world, right? So it should be an honor for a black man to be the mayor. But he had to play by their rules, play by their rules, play by their rules. No, that's not what a boss do. A boss. All right, what are the rules? All right, the boss plays the game how it's supposed to be played to win the game. One God, our Father, art of time, hip hop, life, love, one. God is love, hip hop is lifetime. It's priceless, yo. That's a boss answer. Money ain't nothing more than that fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. You think I gotta get I give Antoine some props on sounding like Bane. I gotta get my voices down, talk like Bane. You think that money means something to me? Who you think that? What does that mean? Like or the Joker just setting it on fire type. Now you talking about real bosses, right? Nothing but a fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist because it's hip hop. That's the art of making the most out of life. Ninjas. One, God is understood. Peace, harmony, happiness. I wish it all for you all. Allah. I wish it for you all.